My name is Chidiebere Nwankwo. My stage name is Bere, 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 and that's from Chidiebere, the last two syllables of Bere. So that's like my stage name. Yeah. I'm from Ebonyi State, equal local government, Ebonyi State. I record basically Afro-Pop, also known as Afrobeat. Yeah. I started making music in 2009, and I professionally got into music in 2017. Professionally, 2017. But I started making music from 2009 as a very young, as a kid. Yeah. I essentially make music for a living. But in recent times, I've had a foray into filmmaking, and by filmmaking, I mean sound design for film. I also design products. I'm a product designer, UX, UI specifically. Yeah. I did mathematics and statistics. Well, it's so funny that you have to mention that I could have been a lecturer or something. I don't know about that. Yes, I could be teaching, but it will not be in a school setting. Yeah, I like to pass on knowledge, but probably in an informal setting where it is more personal, maybe mentorship or something, you know. But music, I wouldn't say I choose music. It's just something I find myself doing a lot of times. Maybe because it's easy for me to do. Maybe it's because it's easy for me to express myself in that format. But yeah, that is it for me. It's not like it's a calling. I'm yet to catch that vibe. I wouldn't say it's a calling, but I spent a lot of time doing music right from when I was way, way younger. So it's usually very easy for me to communicate myself and express myself through music. That has been what it is for me. A lot of times it starts from the melody progression or the kind of story I want to talk about. It usually starts from there, and then I link up with the producer and we talk about it, and we just start from there. It could be the story I want to tell that inspires the entire music or the melody progression itself. So there is no one way to how I come about the music. Sometimes it's just a producer that sends me a beat and think, oh, baby, this is the kind of sound that you want to mess with, and that's it. For the most part, I write my songs, but I'm usually very open to assistance from creative writers. Yeah. Wow, it's a long journey. I first of all got a management contract from a company called Firematics Entertainment. We did a couple of things and a project. And as at that time, I was still going by the name Shady XL. And I was nominated Most Promising Act for the Nigerian Entertainment Awards in New York. So and that was in 2016. And after that, I took a break and then came back in 2018, signed under Solid Star Records. And after a while, it flipped to Everrise Records. Yeah. The award I was nominated for was the Nigerian Entertainment Awards. Usually, it held in New York at the time. And I was under a management contract. It was not a record label, it was a management contract. And as at that time, I still went by, I used to go by the name Shady XL. Yeah, not Bere. I really haven't done much with Bere, actually. I dropped the name when I was about to take on the contract for Solid Star Records because they expressed a dissatisfaction to have anything to do with my previous works and records here. Okay, so I currently have a contract with Everrise Records that is still running, still remaining like 12 months actually. So yeah, I'm with a label, Everrise Records. The most unique thing about my craft is the divine factor, my ability to evolve and still sound very relevant even after so many years of being in the business is what makes me unique. How I'm able to relate and interact with relevant sound has always eluded most of my competitors in the business. So my unique and most outstanding factor is the divine. And by that, I mean God. Yeah. I can't name drop who my competitors are, but I mean, of course, there are people playing in the same space that I play who even started with me, who understand my background story, that are still surprised when I do some of this shit that I do. I'm like, whoa, this nigga. Yeah, you are saying your song is way ahead of time, or they are saying, oh, even after so much time, this song is still relevant. You know, Afrobeat as a brand has grown really big. It's global now. Of course, we all know that. The entire world is dancing to Afrobeat, and I'm really happy about it, you know. But as an idea, I think it still has a lot of loopholes that still needs to be improved on. The ideology behind Afrobeat, the kind of messages we talk about, the kind of lifestyle, the culture, and how we portray it. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And then, I mean, for us as Nigerians, we still have a lot to do with regards to how we structure our industry, especially now that our sound is global. You know, there's still a lot of stuff that we need to do. We need proper royalty collection companies. We need to have our own Nigerian charts. We need to have our own Nigerian awards that will celebrate Nigerian artists, you know, such that it becomes what's the word? It becomes a situation where, as Afrobeat artists, you do not need foreign awards to feel a sense of what's the word to use? A sense of fulfillment. You know, that's how I feel. What is the operating environment for the music industry here in Nigeria? There are so many things that are, I mean, affecting that. For example, you have the fact that the citizens have the majority of the citizens in Nigeria have a low buying power as a result of the economic situation. And then there's also policies by the government that stifles innovation within that space, stifle operations within the space. All of these things militates against the buying power of the end consumer. So there's that. And there's also a need to consider that some of these foreign companies, like the US that you mentioned, they are well organized in their the systems that they operate in. So this makes it more economically rewarding than it would ordinarily be here in Nigeria. Well, what I'm about to say will apply to both music creators and people of other endeavors. Because if you can leverage your skill and position it in such a way that you can earn from an economy besides that of Nigeria, by all means do. You know, it's a good thing. It's an excellent thing, in fact, especially considering how borderless the world has now become. But for Nigerians to be able to earn more, of course, there are a whole lot of things that could be done, a whole lot. But I think one of the things that will greatly help is to create an environment where innovation thrives. Because, of course, Nigerian youths have proven by all means that they are entrepreneurial. So if you can just give them the enabling environment to do what they can do, they'd be able to, you know, create value that can pull in purchasing power from all over the world. We've seen it happen a lot of times. There's been Jumia and the rest of them, you know, quite a lot of product that has, you know, gone global in terms of being listed on the stock exchange and all of that, you know, all of what is happening in that space. Yeah. I think if innovation is encouraged in the country, it would help our entertainment industry as well. In recent times, there's been a lot of improvements in terms of copyright in the country. I remember before Bere left office, he signed into law a copyright that gave more power and leverage to creatives. And of course, money, because aside the copyright policies, if creatives are able to find ways of raising funds for some of these projects, it will go a long way to create more opportunities and business and also stimulate the economy. Of course, you know how these things work. I do not agree that the space is saturated. We've not even started anything yet. There's a whole lot of space. In fact, the way the industry is, it has so opened up to a point where if certain things are put in place, like for example, the revenue collection situation, if things are done, there'll be a lot of, I mean, let's compare it to the United States. There are lots of people who are big. I remember when I first met a gospel artist, was Malik. I didn't know Mali music, yeah. I didn't know him. Like I didn't know him. This is not even a situation of maybe I'm not familiar with gospel music. I didn't know him until I was opportune to visit the States, and then I saw him perform. I'm like, yo, who's this person? And they told me, oh, he's doing it big in his city. And he's been okay. This was way before he got signed to Akon and became big. So I don't agree that the space is saturated. If you ask me, there's a lot more space. The only thing is the methods, the system in place makes it seem like people want to go through just one direction, through one channel. And when people rush towards a place, if that very structure, that very channel becomes saturated, but that does not mean the space is saturated. In the next 5 years, I see myself in a position sharing my platform and helping younger artists becoming accomplished in their artistry and their craft. And as per change of name, I don't see that happening. There's no reason that I see right now for getting a change of name. Well, I like to call the type of music I make Afro-Pop. Afrobeat is still a symposium conversation, But yeah, of course, there are lots of music in the works, lots of recorded songs in the archive. But in recent times, I have not put out anything. I haven't put out songs in a while. The last time I put out a song was in 2000. But I have a couple of viral content that I'm about to share, hopefully real soon. But no fresh official singles yet. Well, for upcoming artists, the most important things you should focus on includes, besides improving your talent, also have a close relationship with your maker, because a whole lot is going to depend on it. Don't be in a rush to get into contract situations. Try as much as you can to get somebody who is experienced to help explain some of the situations out. It will help avoid some unnecessary situations. You will not know how much of a problem you have averted by just that singular act of looking for someone who is experienced ahead of you to look through contracts for you. Thank you.